Hi everyone, today we have a full body, no equipment, prenatal workout. It's gonna be quick, it's gonna be easy to follow along. Let's get started. My name is Amanda Bond. I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm currently in my second trimester, so I'll be bringing you free prenatal workouts every week. Okay, so let's get started with a little bit of a warm-up. We're just gonna start by driving our knees up. So it's a nice light marching. And we're gonna move those arms as well. So just moving them forward and back. That's it, and those knees up. And we can bring those arms up a little bit higher as well. Bringing them down and then up. That's it, keep those legs moving. We're gonna bring it to a side stretch. So we're gonna bring the arms down, feet a little wider than your shoulders. We're just gonna shift our weight to one side and reaching up with that hand and then shift into the other side. So nice big reach. So you should feel a little bit in that hip and a little bit down the side of the body as well. That's it, just keep shifting your weight. Looking up as well, so look up high, we open up. All right, we're gonna come up, standing up nice and tall, hands by those ears, and driving our knee up, and then our elbow towards that knee, depending on how big that baby bump is, or depending on if you actually get down or not. So we're just trying to add in that little bit of a rotation through the back. So it's really that shoulder movement. Leading with the elbow. That's it, couple more. We're gonna go a little bit faster. So we're gonna repeat that all over again, but a little bit more speed. So we're gonna start with those knees and a little bit faster pace this time. And now let's bring our arms up, keeping those knees moving. Nice big breathing. That's it, get those knees up. All right, and feet wider than those shoulders. Shift and reach. And shift. That's it, you can get a little bit deeper this time as well. That's it, a few more seconds. We're gonna finish with either marching or jogging, depending on how you feel. So we're either gonna bring it back to that fast pace march, or you can bring those knees up. Depends on how bouncy you feel down there. So 20 more seconds. So let's try to get that heart rate up just a little bit. That's it, a little bit more. Move those arms still. And 3, 2, 1. All right. So that's the warm-up done. Now let's get started with our circuit number 1. Okay, so circuit number 1, we have 3 exercises. We're gonna have 30 seconds of work and then 15 seconds of rest in between. So we're gonna start with a bodyweight squat. So we're just gonna get our feet maybe a little bit wider than those hips, and you wanna keep your chest lifted. So we're gonna sink down into that squat and then drive through the feet. So make sure that your feet are nice and flat and that you're not on your toes for this one. If you need to, you can always put like a little a footstool or a seat behind you to help you sit back. That's it. So you want to get nice and deep as you can while keeping your chest lifted. That's it. So a couple more. All right, so a little rest. So shake out your legs. Next up is a good morning. So we're gonna bring our hands behind our ears, roll those shoulder blades back and down. Our feet are just a little bit underneath our hips. It's nice and square. And we're gonna hinge forward. So we're sticking those hips back and our shoulder blades are pulled back and down. So really pull them back, lift up the chest, and hinge forward. That's it. So nice straight back. Make sure you're not rounding, so we're leading with the chest, sinking those hips back. All right, and shake out those arms a little bit. Next up, we're gonna have some reverse lunges. So we're gonna be stepping it back, pushing that weight through that foot as we come up, and then we're gonna keep switching. Keep our chest up, and all right, let's go. So step it back, drive all that weight in that front foot, and you wanna have your knee just stacked over your ankle, so you don't wanna be too far back. You don't wanna take a giant step back. Just a nice position, keeping that knee over ankle. 10 more seconds, so keep stepping it back. And 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's do it again. Shake it out. All right, so we're gonna start with squats. So now we know what we're doing. You can get some nice speed going in this one. So we're gonna sink down. All right, here we go. Again, you wanna keep that chest up. Nice and flat on those feet. Knees are driving out over our toes. That's it. And you can pace yourself. Remember, we wanna be able to keep talking while we're pregnant. You should be at, on a scale of about 1 to 10, you want to be around that 6 to 7 zone. So you can hear I'm getting a little out of breath. Baby taking up some lung space. All right, let's shake out those legs. Starting to feel it now. All right, good morning. Feet under hips. Remember, pull those shoulder blades back. All right, here we go. So sinking back in those hips again. And we want to lead with that chest. So my eyes are just forward. I'm not looking down. So make sure that you can't look at you're not looking at your toes. So I'm just hinging forward, and you should feel this all in the back of the legs. A little bit in that back as well. All right, that's it. So reverse lunges are next. So grounding that foot. That's it. And again, you want to push off that front foot. We don't want to be pushing off the back foot. So we're loading that front leg and driving our weight into that front foot. And again, your eyes are forward. That's it, almost there. Keep going. 2, 1. All right, let's shake it out. So let's take a little bit of a rest. Go grab some water if you need it. Okay, so circuit number 2, just like circuit 1, we're gonna have 30 seconds of work and then 15 seconds of rest, and we're gonna start on the floor. So we have a side plank position. Elbow right underneath that shoulder. We're gonna stack those feet nice and long, and then bend that bottom knee. Let's raise up our hip, and then driving up that leg. That's it. So we're gonna be on the same side for 30 seconds. So if you need a little break at any point, just bring that hip down, and then come back into it. That's it. And we're not speeding through it, just nice and slow. Find that nice steady pace. And 2, 1. All right, let's bring it down. We're gonna come over to the other side and same thing. Again, we wanna have our elbow right underneath our shoulder. Stack those feet, bend the bottom one, lift up that hip. That's it. And drive it up. Oh, it's already burning. That's it, keep driving it up. I think this is my weaker side. Should have started on this side. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. All right, a little rest again. We're gonna have some plank shoulder taps. We're gonna do these ones from our knees. If you're in your first trimester, you could probably do them on your toes. Push those hips through, and then we're gonna tap opposite shoulder. And really try and avoid any rocking. So you can see I'm rocking a little bit. So we want to try and get rid of that rocking. That's it, keeping it nice and square in those hips. And maybe focusing on some nice steady breathing as well. We got a few more seconds. All right. Next up we have bird dog. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Pull your belly button into your spine. So you want to keep your core engaged. And we're going to reach out opposite hand to foot. And think about being nice and long. That's it. 10 more seconds. We got one more. And then we'll take a little break. All right, so last one we're gonna do is a mountain climber. So again, you wanna keep your hands underneath your shoulders, and we're gonna come into the high plank position, and we're gonna drive knee towards chest. So go a little slow with this one. It's gonna be here for 30 seconds. So again, high plank, let's go. So driving those knees in. And again, if you need a little break in this one, you can just bring those knees down, take a little rest, and bringing it back up. That's it. Try and keep that belly button pulled into spine. All that weight on our front is going to be pulling that belly down. So try and keep them up. 2, 1. All right, a little rest. So let's just take a 30-second rest, and we're going to do that one again. We're gonna have our elbows stacked underneath our shoulder, feet are stacked, bend that bottom knee, raise up our hip, and now we're gonna extend that top leg. And here we go, so drive it up. You got it. That's it, nice steady breathing. You got it. 10 more seconds. Remember, you can bring it down, rest whenever you need. 3, 2, 1. All right, and other side. Again, elbow, make sure it's underneath that shoulder. Stack the feet, bend the knee on the bottom, lift up that hip, and drive up that top foot. Remember, you want to have a nice and steady breathing as well. Just don't want to get too out of breath. 15 seconds. You got it. A few more seconds. That's it. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, bring it down. So we're gonna have some shoulder taps. So we're gonna come into a plank position. So hands are gonna be underneath our shoulders. You wanna push those hips through. We're gonna stay on the knees. Okay, so from here, let's tap opposite shoulder. And let's try and not do this rocking that I'm currently doing. So really engage your core. And I'm still rocking. There we go. So try and keep it nice and steady, just like a table. That's it. And all right, little rest. So bird dog, hands underneath shoulders. We're gonna keep our core engaged, so belly button into spine. All right, so now we're gonna reach opposite hand to foot, and we're gonna keep switching. And just like that last one, we wanna keep that rocking to a minimum. So keep it more in that table position, reaching back nice and long. That's it. Really push that wall away behind you. Whoop, I'm wobbly. That's it. Hands on the shoulders again. We're coming to a high plank position. And this time we're gonna come into our mountain climber, and we're gonna drive up one knee at a time. Okay, let's go. So you wanna keep that core engaged as well, so belly button to spine. And if you need a break, bring it down. A little rest. And bring it back up. So make sure that you're not letting that back sag down. We're keeping it up. That's it. Nice and steady. All right, let's bring it down. Woo. Little break. Shake out those wrists a bit. Okay, so circuit number 3. Again, we have 4 exercises this time, and they're gonna have 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, just like those other 2 circuits. We're gonna start with a single leg deadlift. So ground one foot into the floor, roll those shoulder blades back. We're gonna lead with the chest, and we're gonna drive up that heel. We're gonna keep switching legs on this one, because then we're gonna alternate. So your option for this one is just to come to wherever you can keep your balance. All right, let's go. So if you can come all the way down while keeping the balance, perfect. Otherwise, you're just gonna hold it to wherever you can. And we wanna have that heel and shoulders, so our whole body in one nice straight line. So what I mean is we don't want this. So you don't wanna hinge. You wanna drive up your heel, lead with the chest. That's it, so keep alternating. All right, and little rest. We're gonna bring it to the floor. We're gonna have a glute bridge. So you wanna have your heels underneath or your ankles underneath your knees, coming onto your back, shoulders are back and down. All right, so we're gonna lift up those hips. You wanna squeeze through the glutes, nice and controlled on the way down. Driving up, pressing into the floor, nice and slow on the way down. That's it, so squeeze. And we're just getting our hips and knees in one nice straight line. So avoid that hyperextending and pushing too far. We don't need to. We want to keep it all in the back of the legs. All right, a little rest here. We're gonna have a seated reach next. So sitting up, feet down, sit up nice and tall, pull that belly button in. All right, let's go. So we're gonna reach behind us with one hand, bringing it back and switching to the other side. So you might have one side that you're able to rotate through a little easier than the other. That's fine, we're not as symmetrical as we think. That's it, reaching back. A few more seconds, we're gonna bring it back to our feet. All right, so let's come up to standing next. And we're gonna go back into that deadlift. So again, grounding yourself with one foot, lead with the heel, or drive up the heel, and lead with the chest. That's it, and we're gonna keep switching legs. So you don't have to keep that same pace as me, but try not to rush it. And we're not collapsing through the chest. We're nice and controlled, moving slow. You need to get your balance, get that balance. That's it, steady breathing. 30 seconds, we're gonna bring it down. I'm starting to wobble. All right, let's bring it to the floor. We got glute bridge. And you want those ankles under your knees so you can keep it in the glute. If your feet are too far, you're gonna feel it too much in those quads. So bring them right underneath your knees. Okay, here we go. Slow squeeze, little pause at the top. Slow on the way down. That's it. A little squeeze all through the back of the legs. That's it. You got it. A few more. 3, 2, 1. All right. So seated reach. Sitting up tall. That's it. Make it more challenging, you just lean back a bit, but make sure you're still keeping that nice neutral spine and that we're not hunching over. All right, let's go. So we're opening up. Eyes are gonna follow those fingers. That's it. Keep it tall. You can reset every time you bring it round so that we're not ending in this position. We're keeping that chest lifted. You got it. A few more seconds. All right. So I got one finisher for you, and it's just 30 seconds. It's not long at all. Last thing we're gonna do is just an iso squat position. So let's get our feet a little bit wider than those hips, bring it down, and all right, let's go. 30 seconds, and this is it. This is the last little bit of the workout. So again, you wanna keep sinking back in those hips, keeping those feet flat, and that chest up. So if you're hinging forward at the moment, come up a little bit so that your chest comes back up. 10 seconds. That's it. Feeling the quad burn. That's that steady. Breathe in, and woo, you're done. All right, let's bring it to the floor for a stretch. So let's start to cool down. Come down to the floor. All right, feet straight out in front, sit up tall, and we're just gonna reach towards those toes. If your bellies are getting a little big, then you can always bring your feet a little bit wider and then coming towards that stretch. Nice steady breathe in. Big deep breath in through the nose. And long, slow exhale out. Okay, let's bring it into butterfly. So bringing those feet together, sitting up tall, so allow those knees just to relax and open. Don't push down on them. You should just feel that stretch in your hips. When we're pregnant, we have a lot of hormones going through. One of them is called relaxin, and it does exactly what you think it does. It just relaxes everything, so you can really overstretch during pregnancy, so just make sure that you're not pressing down or anything, and we're keeping within our regular range of motion. Okay, we're gonna bring it into child's pose. So you want to have your feet close together and your knees just nice and wide. Sink back in those hips, and then we're gonna reach with those hands. That's it, and you can rest your head on the floor. Now you want to keep sinking back in those hips and keep walking those hands away so you can feel that in the back. Nice stretching out, elongating your spine. Remember, you want to keep focusing on some nice steady breaths as well. All right, let's bring it up. We're gonna come into a downward dog. So hands underneath those shoulders. Bring it into, I like to bring it into a high plank and then push those hips back and push into my palms. And then if you push your chest just a little towards your toes, you'll feel it in your shoulders as well. If you can't get your heels down, you're just gonna bend one heel at a time. Again, being very careful and mindful that we're not overstretching. It's very easy to pull tendons and ligaments and things like that. So keep within that range. Don't overdo it. We're just light stretching. That's it. Keep it here a few more seconds. All right, let's bring our knees down and come back down. Well, good job. Well done, everybody. Thanks for working out with me today, and I'll see you next time. Did you enjoy the workout today? If you did, give it a like and share it with a friend. If you have any questions or even some suggestions for future workouts, just leave me a comment down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It'll help you find me a lot easier next time. And if you click on that notification bell, it'll let you know when my next video is up so you never miss one. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.